Hey y'all, it's Live La Nina, and guess what? I am back with another anime review. This week, I'm going to be talking about one of my all time favorite romance animes, Fruits Basket. So there were actually two adaptations, anime adaptations of Fruits Basket. There was one in the early 2000s, like 2001, 2002, and then there's the most recent one which came out in 2019. And I am going to be reviewing the 2019 adaptation of Fruits Basket. So the 2019 adaptation is 3 seasons. I watched it on Hulu. I'm not sure if it's available anywhere else, but that's where I watched it. And the story is the same as the other, but the story in this adaptation actually completes. It was not finished in the first anime adaptation. So Fruits Basket is about a young lady named Toru who is unfortunately an orphan who stumbles upon some members of the Soma family who are cursed with a zodiac. So essentially, the members of this family, if they're stressed, if they're weak, if they're hugged by the opposite sex, they turn into one of the Chinese zodiac animals. And the romance in this anime is between Toru and Kyo, and Kyo is the cat spirit. So while yes, this is a romance anime, there is a bit of a conflict. So I guess the major conflict for this anime would be the actual zodiac curse and being able to get the curse broken. So I am actually breaking my rule because this is 3 seasons, so I technically could have done a season by season review, but it's not really that long and it's easier for me to just review it as a whole show. So starting with the first question, are they, and they is going to refer to Toru and Kyo, likable individually? I give them a 10 straight out of the gate with a 10 for this because I really love both of them as individuals. And even though they're night and day, because Toru is so sweet, she's kind, and Kyo is like real hot headed due to mostly how he's been treated by his family. But even still, personality wise, those two individually, I just love them. Like they're both good people and they just have different ways of expressing it. How well are multiple love interests explored? This one they get a 9 for because they did have a lot of that on Toru's side from Momoji, who said many a times that he would steal Toru away from Kyo if she messed up. Also, there's, I'll say, a red herring relationship between Toru and Yuki, but that's something that we kind of see. We see the conclusion for that. But on Kyo's side, not so much. There's Kagura who's obsessively in love with Kyo, but it's it's very much one sided. It's one sided for Toru on her side as well, but I do think there was just like a little bit of gray area. So that's the only thing that stops them from getting a 10. Are they tested and how do they grow as individuals and as a couple? This one is another 10, right? So there's a lot of tests in just a short 3 season anime. It's really incredible. But they are tested from Kyo's temper, his transformations, really all of the Soma family transformations, but specifically for Toru and Kyo, his transformations, his true cat form, which is seen in the show. Toru's side, she again is an orphan, and her unwillingness to let her mother go, and how she gets through that. The Soma family, their whole conflict with the Zodiac curse and trying to break the curse, so there's a lot of things that they go through individually as well as together, and they absolutely grow and evolve positively from all of those conflicts. Do they inspire me to root for them? Another 10. I wanted nothing more than for them to have a super happy ending. It is just self-explanatory. I loved them together. Is the romantic tension maintained throughout? Another 10. Another 10. Even from the first episode, we hear Kyo say, something along the lines of he always says something to hurt her. So we see kind of the budding start very early, and the whole show they just grow together throughout. And even there's an episode when there's a young girl that wants to talk to Kyo, and Toru's like hesitant for him to walk away, but Yuki reminds her, he was like, yeah, he's gonna say no, I'm sure of it. So absolutely tension from episode 1 to the final episode for sure. For the final ratings, we have 10, 9, 10, 10, and 10, which gives us a 49, and 49 out of 50 gives us a 9.8. And I was super excited to review this because I knew this was going to be one of the ones that got close to, if not a 10, and it is 100% well deserved. So now for things that I did not like about Fruits Basket, because there's still those things. Akito, I hated Akito. I did not like her at all. And there's some spoilers that kind of come along with why Akito is the way that she is. However, I did not like her. Like, the whole family should have jumped her. They should have been got out of that. But it kind of was what it was. So I also, along with that, I did not like the way that Kyo was treated by the family. He was outcast. Nobody wanted to play with the cat. So he kind of got set up. And then, especially seeing his true form, I just know that he had a lot of shame with that. And, that kind of manifested itself in the early stages of how him and Toru bonded. And then I didn't really like the final dynamic that they chose for Yuki and Toru. So remember, I said that was kind of a red herring relationship. I'm not going to spoil, what their final outcome was, but I didn't like that dynamic because, again, these are young people, and I like for some things to at least be age appropriate. And that was just kind of wild to me. And then Toru's mom played a large part in the show, and she actually knew Kyo as a child. I will say that. And I don't like that. But that's also something that I do like. I don't like it because it just kind of seemed out of place, seemed random, like, of all people, she knew him. But leading into things that I did like how their lives, Yuki, Toru, and Kyo, were already intertwined even before they officially met each other. So that worked out well for that. Another thing that I liked was I just loved how everybody grew. So there was growth from all of the characters in the show in a short amount of time, and that's really impressive to me. And finally, what I just love Toru and Kyo's relationship, hands down phenomenal. I just love the way they, work together. I love the way that she, sees him as he is, and she's not afraid of his true form. And I love the evolution of the curse. So we do learn about the curse. We learn about, how it started, how it's currently going. We see the future of it. And I love that too. And I love that that part of the show did not take away from the romance. All in all, if you can't tell, I really, really love Fruits Basket. So this is one, if you want to try a romance anime, this is the one I would suggest you watch. It was just such a good-hearted show. Like, I was hesitant to watch the end of the show, like the final episode, because I just didn't want it to end. So it's an amazing romance anime, and I'm sure you would like it. And as always, you can recommend animes for me to review. But if you don't have anything, just remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.